All right. Hey, Virgos, what's going on? So, we're going to do a reading. I'm going to be honest with you. This is a little different. Disclaimer, I am going to be brutally honest, okay? I'm always honest. I'm always me. But it's an extra spice today. So, anyway. Virgos, let's see what's going on with you guys, okay? For the month of September, we're going to ask Archangel Michael to come in. It's him, guys. It's not me. It's really him. But we just have to see, Virgos, what's going on for you this month. Virgos, what's going on for you this month? Ace of Cups, new beginning, gift, new home, pleasure. Okay, so matters of the heart chakra, going back and forth. There was some disputes, disagreements, push and pull situation, challenge in time. This could be around the matters of the heart, the matters of the home. Maybe you were witnessing people at odds. Maybe you feel overwhelmed, overburdened. But the Ace of Cups tells me that there is a blessing in disguise in this. There is a gift. There is healing in this when I see the Ace of Cups, okay? So, always remember, come from a place of love, come from a place of compassion, because you do have the Ace of Cups, which talks about that heart chakra. So try, like, open it up a little bit. There may be like some residual effect or residual energy that some of you may be working through, okay? But it can also be like in the realms of like career. Maybe for some of you, you felt like this summer, because the Ace of Cups talks about summer. This Ace of Cups was really about restoring. I'm hearing like restoration. So I'm hearing restoring, okay? And maybe you felt like it was like it was about lightening the load and trying to make things easier for yourself. And for some of you, it could be in the realms of career matters or your relational interactions with people. Okay. Three of Wands. Okay, some of you, it could be travel. It could be some of you may be turning your back on someone. You may have a visitor for the month of September. You may be seeing people either coming and going with the Three of Wands. You may have felt like you sacrificed a lot. For some of you, could be like doing some online dating, or you could be talking to someone from afar, dealing with people from afar. But it's also like looking out and trying to figure out like when's your return of investments going to come in. So this is like seeing if you should move or if you should stay. So there is a contemplation element here. This could be in career, this could be in love, this could be in to go see a relative. It could be anything, or vice versa. Please read the disclaimer below, because as I said, it does play out differently for each of you. So it's really important that you read that. So with Three of Wands here, is like maybe for some of you contemplating, like, do I really want to go there? Do I really want to try that? Do I really want to travel? Like, so it's a little bit of that energy. The Four of Cups. Someone may be stubborn, okay? Try not to hold grudges. Maybe someone is holding a grudge, okay? Maybe you feel like there was something that was said that you really weren't happy about, or that it wasn't ideal. Maybe something is like being handed, or it could be that maybe you're trying to deal with someone working through some things, because you do have the Four of Cups. You may be seeing that. It could be like maybe someone is like emotionally unavailable. Also, it could just be like unfair treatment, or not really liking how things were playing out, or the hand that you were dealt, or someone was dealt. So with the Moon card, subconsciously, this is sadness, sorrow, even depression. There's a little bit of that energy, feeling clouded, like cloudy days, going through a phase, going through a cycle. The Moon card is a passing phase, and I just want you guys to remember that it's not really the best time to make like immediate like decisions, beginnings or endings. But it does tell me going through a cycle, and just know, I always say with the Moon card, there is light at the end of the tunnel. And even during the darkest hours, there's light. The moon shines light and helps you have that sense of direction, but one has to be open to receive it. Okay, so remember that Ace of Cups that comes through. The Ace of Swords, in the recent past, I feel like for some of you, there may have been some communication, clarity, or confirmation that came through. For some of you, it could have been bittersweet. Your desire comes up as the star. So you could be wanting something that is really big, that could have an impact on like your long term. This is a wish, okay? So for some of you, it could just be maybe your desires to give to yourself more, do more, be more kind. Maybe you're like setting like tone in a bar here for this. The Hierophant card, this is deep conversations, okay? Whether it's in commitment or at work. For some of you, you may have an interview, you may be starting a training or orientation, you may be starting a class, you may be starting school, you may be doing something to learn. This could be also reading more. This could be focusing on your spirituality. This could be also counseling, therapy, doing mediation, being involved in mediation, having a family meeting. I am getting a little bit of that energy with this Hierophant card. It's like literally focusing on what's right. Okay, what is right for you? What is right for others around you? And I just get that energy here. So there is a sense of like commitment or obligation that some of you may feel like um, either you have to meet or it's imposed against you. The Ten of Pentacles, you see yourself. Okay, so for some of you, this could also just be like maybe it's a like a job and you see yourself, you're getting money. Maybe if it's in, it could also be an inheritance, okay? But it could just be money coming to you or something that is like due to you. And I remember saying this in your last reading, so I feel like it's circulating and it's around you. But for some of you, I feel like it could be like handling family matters. You know, when we have the Ten of Pentacles and a Hierophant card, it could just be situations arising in a home and discussions that's being had. So I feel like for some of you, it's a little bit of that, little shopping therapy. I am seeing, again, coming from a place of compassion, the hopes and fears. You got the Eight of Cups, so it could be like maybe some concern around the matter. Maybe the Four of Cups is coming up as concern around someone, okay? Maybe concerned about seeing when someone comes, seeing when someone go, maybe someone leaving, maybe traveling, okay? Maybe you are in the planning stages of that. The outcome is the Four of Wands, okay? So I do feel like there is a commitment for some of you, a celebratory moment. Okay, maybe there's some good news that comes towards you. Maybe you, like I said, have a visitor. Maybe you see someone that you haven't saw in a long time. Maybe for some of you get invited to an event, to a function, excuse me, to a party, to a wedding, to a ceremony of some sort. I am seeing that happen with the Four of Wands energy. Let's take a look. But this is about having stability in the home. Now we have the Tower card, so we have to see what's going on here. For some of you, this is a falling out, a breakup, argument. And remember what I said. This is about having stability in your home. And when speaking of stability, the Tower card came right out. And what happens when you see that Tower card? It tells you things were not really that stable, or something was faulty. There were some things that needed to be worked out. And it doesn't have to be you per se. It could be someone around you, and someone a close connection. Maybe you get a phone call, you know, maybe you find out, maybe you see it. It could be a little bit different for each of you, but let's just see what's going on. You have the Sun card with the Hierophant card, so that's really interesting that you have the Sun. It does tell me that it's like for some of you, it's like a happy reunion of some sort, okay? But it also talks about speaking about like self-confidence, okay? So it could be maybe you're working on your self-confidence. Maybe you want someone else to work on their self-confidence. But it's also about liberating yourself, right? So you know how people do things that is like for like their best interests, okay? So not conforming. Okay, so for some people conform, you know, and then you have other people that just do stuff outside of the box and do things different. This is like breaking out of that shell, so to speak, right? So that's interesting. And you know, sometimes the Sun card also talks about like needing space. You know, the Sun is a really hot card, right? You have Leo, you have fire, and so when we think of in terms of the Sun and needing space, you know, things can get really heated. You know, so maybe perhaps this is like asserting yourself in a matter of where you would feel more free, more lively, and there is just like this deep tone and energy that I'm feeling for the Sun and the Hierophant card. Now, when we have the Four of Wands, the Tower, and the Ten of Cups, it comes from a place of what was like a happy home. Something for some of you, it could be like catastrophic, it could be traumatic, it could be like a big sudden event, it could be something unexpected that happened in the realms of either in the home or the matters of the heart. Okay, so I am seeing that come up. But I see you being really level-headed, really serious about this. You got your sword up, okay? So really welcoming, really open-minded, but then at the same time, right, really serious about it. You know, when the Queen of Swords come up, this is like really direct, really straightforward, and really straight to the point. The Lovers card. So the Four of Cups, for some of you, like I said, this could be in the matters of the heart. This could be someone close to you. When the Lovers card comes up, it could be a significant other. It could be someone you love. It could be a family member. It could be a job. It could be maybe you're split in two. Maybe you feel divided about a situation or a person, or maybe someone feels divided or split in two about a person. But it could also be like maybe something is like a big decision or a big step. And so I feel like for some of you that is the case as well. So we have the Five of Wands, right? So a little disagreement, bickering, challenging, fighting. And so doing a mediating or stepping away from the situation, focusing on happier days, happier times. You know, they say joy comes in the morning, and, you know, there's a new day. And so embracing the changes, adapting to it. This is about adapting to it. And like I said, you're level-headed because you have the Queen of Swords and you see yourself as that. So focusing on the end goal, focusing on the bigger picture, and not putting too much on yourself. See, I see this Ten of Pentacles. Yes, it can seem like an overwhelming card, but it's dropping one at a time. And so instead of trying to wreck your brain about something, to try to do everything all at once, I feel like there's an energy here of let me take care of this, let me take care of this, let me take care of this, and collectively, you know, why can't I, you like, it's almost like doing everything, getting everything checked off the list, right? But not doing everything at once where you're feeling cluttered. So this is sort of like having that sense of awareness that you can have what you want, but it's going to take like careful planning and being mindful of like your reaction, your response, and your timing, and just planning overall in general. So it is that. Now, you have two fives here, so there is conflict, no doubt about it. There was a block of some sort, but we have two good major arcana cards that takes precedence over the Five of Wands energy. So I like that because it brings on a tone of, again, a certain that self-confidence, a certain that independence, and just embracing the positivity and the happier days and deciding to like let go of like the Five of Wands energy and not focus on like any petty disputes, arguments, or challenges. So outshining that, okay, and doing that really, really well. Okay, so I am feeling that for you guys. Now for Virgos, let's see what's coming up for you. Okay, Virgos, we just have to see. Saint Sinner came up for you. So we are using the Magdalene Oracle, and let's see what comes up for Saint Sinner. This is like a really interesting card that I'm seeing here with the Saint Sinner energy. It just gives me this really faint, empty feeling. You know, it gives me this really empty feeling. It doesn't. It's like it doesn't feel good and it doesn't feel bad. It just gives this feeling off where it's like it's a a puzzling feeling to me, and there's just an element like it feeling like something like it's a gap, and interestingly enough, it's a puzzling feeling and it feeling like it's a gap, and I'm like facing the wall, and like the wall I'm literally seeing steps. And so this Saint Center card is really coming through. I'm gonna read it to you, but I feel like the steps is being shown because taking things one step at a time. And weren't we just speaking about that? Like literally, I am in the paint on my wall. I'm literally seeing steps. And whether you're going down, whether you're going up, just knowing that it is still going to take strength to get through it. And just take things one step at a time. The step underneath you, under the surface, is solid. Okay, when you have something solid, okay, and because we do have like the Tower card here, right? And it talks about when things aren't stable, right, or solid, and it falls. But the steps that I'm seeing is solid. Okay, you just have to trust that it's solid. Okay, and know that upon you taking these steps, you will be okay in the process. So it says, the assumptions you are making about another person or event can turn out to be completely wrong. Realize that for every theory, there is a contradicting and opposing one. There may be more to this situation than first meets the eye. You are being advised. Excuse me, I know it's where I was at. You are being advised to keep an open mind and heart. All is not necessarily the way it seems. Remember also that often the judgments we make about others are also judgments we make about ourselves. You will not find peace and fulfillment while holding an I'm right and they're wrong attitude. Accept that there is no single truth that applies universally, and things will become clearer. And I feel like that is really interesting, right? Like, even being open minded and things along that line. When the card says that, we spoke about that, right? With like the Queen of Cups energy, the Ace of Cups that was at the bottom. I feel like when we take a look at that, the Saint Sinner, we have this persona of like right and wrong, or we make assumptions. And it's saying you have to be clear, with the Hierophant card here, this is like really about being objective, being neutral in a matter. And I feel like that's why, especially among like the chaos or the challenges, this is how the role that you are and the hand that you are dealt that you're going to have to play is just like being really neutral, not making any decisions, focusing on the greater good, and opening yourself up and knowing that there's two sides, hence the reason why you see two people facing the Hierophant. And I feel like there is also a lesson in every situation, okay? I like to say that there's a lesson in every blessing. So do not forget that. And, there are like may have been like some contradictions, maybe contradictory moments or people or situations or some opposing forces that was at work. But Spirit is coming through with saying that there's more that meets the eye, and sometimes things get shaken up so that things can be revealed, or so that things can be more clear, or maybe there is something that needs to be redone, or there is something that needs to be repaired or remodeled, maybe around the house, or there's some changes that needs to be made, like maybe there's some moving things around. So I am seeing that energy, okay? So it's not really about being right and wrong, or it's not really about that energy. So now, without further ado, I'm just going to say that is the end of your reading, and I have more to do. But thank you so much for tuning in. I honestly, guys, I truly appreciate all my subscribers, all my loyal ones, all my new ones. And with this card, the Saint Sinner, just remember that no one is perfect, and I really think it's interesting how it says Saint and Sinner, right? We both take on two sides. We both play like two different roles, and it's really just which one we act on more, okay? And learning about the process and the stages as you move forward, okay? So thank you so much, and stay blessed, guys.